Hello, 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 hello. I'm here. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but I'm going to tough it out as long as I can. So, with that being said, well, right now it's still morning. So, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. This is your baby boomer, Kitty Lane, from the peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. Come on in the den. And this, of course, is Thunderous Thursday. We all know it to be Thoughtful Thursday, but y'all, it's a little turmoil going on out there. And usually in this kind of weather, we lose more than a few leaves on the trees. Sometimes it's furniture on our porch. Sometimes it's all the electricity. So, in the event that the electricity goes out, it will stop broadcasting. But just know that I'm okay. I'm okay. And I don't know how long the lights, if they do go out, I don't know how long they'll be out. But in that case, I will see you guys on Saturday. So, what I will try to do, since this is our kind of laid back day anyway, I will try to get through our notes as quickly as possible. First of all, I would like to thank everybody for 525 subscribers. I'd also like to thank everybody for 2,101.9 viewing hours. That means we have 899 viewing hours to go. We got this, guys. We got this. As far as my mood meter for today, my mood is pretty high. I was a little perplexed when I looked at the weather report and saw that we were expecting snow. We started out at 70 degrees this morning. But notice I said I'm only a little perplexed. If you remember, I've been through this before. Sent my kids to school in shorts and t-shirts. And when they got out of school, we had snow on the ground, gathered snow, inches of snow. Yeah, it was like 3 inches right around the house, but in some places in Portsmouth, it had registered up to 6 inches. That's a substantial snowfall for us in this area. So, yeah, it might be one of those days. But we are going to hope for the best and expect the worst. I understand a lot of people may not agree with that philosophy, but if we expect the worst, we're prepared for it. Told y'all there's a method to my madness. So, with that being said, my health, someone got to experience what it's like walking with me through my house today, and they realized just a couple of steps renders me almost breathless. So, we're still working on that, but I was able to get through. It's been a lot of things moving, a lot of different parts moving around here because of the storm that's coming. Um, I had to remove my rocking chairs from the patio, and bless his heart, one of my upstairs neighbors um, was walking by and he brought the second one in for me. So I only had to tackle one. They're not heavy, they're just kind of awkward. They're the big plastic ones. Yeah, and they're green. Yeah. I remember one year I went chasing them across the parking lot. I don't want to do that again. So, mood, I would have to say, is probably a 10. It's up there today. I had a mm, I had an ethereal visitor last night and today, and in trying to figure out what that's all about, never got any bad vibes. Just all positivity. But that's another thing. But it made me not sleep. I did not sleep because I was nosy. and I wanted to know what was going on. Baby, how are you? So happy to see you. And my health meter, I would say, with no new aches and pains, probably a 9.5, which puts overall at a 9.75. I think that's pretty good for a daily report. Go, kitty. Tasty treats. Boy, I got a table full today. Y'all ready for this? I have the coffee that is too hot. This is 20 ounces of Folgers Black Silk brewed strong, and it is 16 ounces of International Delight Caramel Macchiato. Hey, sis! How are you, love? I just said it was too hot and I sucked it anyway. Cool, that's why I don't like hot foods. I have 2.5 bottles of water. And I have 3/4 of a bottle of cranberry juice. Cranberry juice. Yeah, cherry, whatever. Cherry flavored cranberry juice. That's a lot more soothing to my tongue. Yes. So, today's task. Today's task lays before me right here. Right now, guys, I am taking a huge step back. A huge step back. I am focusing on this, which is the one blanket, one stitch. And it's just about halfway done. I am also focusing on Timothy X, which is the extra wide scarf. Those are the two things that will receive my main focus today. I have caught up on all of the rows and components added for the prizes for the 1,000 subscribers. I went in last night and saw that the figure was $525. And I caught everything up. That's why I don't like hot stuff, because it like compromises the skin at the roof of my mouth. So then I feel like I'm drooling the rest of the day, and it's not cool. Not cool at all. So this is my focus for today. I have done a little bit with this today. So I just have 95 more rows. The 20 rows that I had to add, I did. I had to frog what I had done before, because I don't know why, but I was doing single crochet, and this is half double crochet. So I had to frog all of that back and redo that 20. And that's another reason I have to scale back so much. I'm confusing myself in stitches. The Stitcherhood blanket, I had to put that down because I was going to be furiously frustrated if I didn't. Let me show you why. So, this is a Susan Bates 6.0. This is a Prim 6.0. They look the same. But then again, no, they don't. The Prim is thicker. My ends look like this because I was switching back and forth between the 6.0s. I look like this is the first project I've ever done in my life. And for it to be donated to such a special cause and for it to be my pattern, I can't do that, guys. I can't do that. I don't care if I was making it for a pet blanket. I couldn't. The right in me wouldn't allow me to do that. So, like I said, my focus for today is here and here. Hopefully today's focus will finish this. I'm only focusing on these two. So that means I'm going to get bored. So in the meantime, in between time, I will pick up one of these and do my little 6 round granny square. And when that's done, I'll get back to the project. So that's what I'm working on there. Um, I did tell y'all about the 100 balls, right? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. So 7 of them have been done. Yes, 7 of them have been done. And number 8 is in the works. And that's what I do, honestly. When I get bored with the project, I will put it down, do a round on the granny square, crack my knuckles, sip on something, stretch a little bit, and then I get back to the big project. And when I get bored again, same thing. Do a round. Yeah. Crack the knuckles. Do a little stretch. Drink a little drinky drink. I I did. Oh. Um, like I said, as far as finishing, I did. I got it now. Um, as far as finishing, I'm hoping this will be finished today. It will not be ready to be presented to him until we see what the storm is going to do, because I do want to wash it and throw it in the dryer. Just what I do, just a little thingy thing that I do. And hopefully, this one will be finished no later than Saturday. And then I can pick something else up. But for right now, it's just these two. I think I showed you all the squares that I had worked on. And pretty much that's where we are as far as things that I'm working on. Um, I got to the point that I was putting the wrong stitches on the wrong things. Excuse me. I was picking up the wrong hook size. Every time I would pick something up, I would get sleepy, which meant I was bored with it, and I kept trying to push my way through. Hello, Vivian. How are you? Welcome in. But I kept trying to force my way through, and that wasn't working. So I had to sit back and reassess everything and say, "Hey, let's go at this from another angle. Let's do this the right way." The reason I switch back and forth between the prim hooks is because, okay, I just put it in here. Where did you go? I just put, oh, here it is. Okay. I fell in love with the Susan Bates when I got it. It fits very well in my hand. It's long enough so that it doesn't aggravate or make that callus that had gotten there from the short hooks coming back. It's, even though it's ergonomic, it's not too thick. And it glides through the work like a hot knife through butter. This, I wanted to try a prim, just like I want to try a furl, just like I want to try a clover. I want to try all of them. I want to find what works for me. But what I found out in working with the prim, when I first started it and it was squeaking against the material, I was like, wait a minute, hold it, let me try something. So I got my coconut oil, which is what I do. And I always make sure I rub my hooks with what I have on my hand, because the yarn is coming through the hand and onto the hook. So it's a whole uniform thing that I have going on. And once I did that, About 80% of the squeaking stopped, and that gave me time to really get used to the hook. And I'm loving the way this hook works. I am really loving the way it works. It is so lightweight. The Susan Bates is a tad heavier. Um, I wouldn't say so noticeably, but it is noticeably. I'm sorry. When you're working with this, you don't feel the weight. You don't until you pick the prim up. When you pick the prim up, it's almost like you have nothing in your hand. It's just grab and go. And I was liking that. But when I looked at my work last night and realized I have to frog the whole thing, the Stitcher hood blanket has to be frogged back to the beginning because I don't remember which hook I started with. I don't remember if I used the prim, and because I was trying to figure it out, I used tight tension, or if I started out comfortably with the Susan Bates. Does it make a difference? Yes. Because this has a wider neck. The prim has a wider neck than the Susan Bates. And I use my whole shaft when I'm crocheting. When I'm not using my whole shaft, I'm usually choking my work. And I will slowly work my way back down so that I'm able to use the complete shaft to get my work done. This one has a bevel, so everything kind of stops, like here. And whereas it's fine, it hasn't hindered me from doing anything, even my larger stitches that require many loops to be on the hook at one time. But what happens with this one, when I have those types of projects, the half the loops end up being stretched or too big because they have to go over that thumb rest. There's no thumb rest here. So all of my stitches are uniform. They're just bigger than these. And it makes my blanket do this. And then when I go back to this, it comes in. And when I go back to this, it goes out. So yeah, I decided that I was going to give it a break. The carpenter's wheel, I have it in line to be the next one that I pick up. And I do know that I'm using the red hook, which is my 5.5. That's the only one that I'm using with the carpenter's wheel. That much I know. I'm using the prim with this blanket, and I'm using the Susan Bates with the scarf. And I'm using the prim with nope. No. See, that's why I need to slow down. That's why I had this laying here. I am using the 5.5 Susan Bates with my squares. And that's going to be funny because I want to use the 6.0 to connect the squares. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So in case you didn't catch it, we do have a storm coming through. The winds have picked up. I've had an interesting morning, all morning. But the latest thing that happened, this is our tale for the day, is I was on the phone with Marsha, and I'm, knowing that I got to get ready. Before that happened, my oldest daughter, Nikki, called me, and she says, "Mom, where are you?" And I said, "I'm at home." She said, "Stay there." Usually that means I'm coming over. And she says, "Do not go out in this weather for anything. Do you understand?" And in my mind, I'm like, I could have sworn I was the mama. Did I miss that memo? But I simply said, okay, I'll stay inside. They got extra hooks. That's good. It's just that right now, I it's either get the extra hook or it's a choice thing. It's I can't do both, and I want to try other hooks because I want to be well versed with the hooks. I want to know what works with what. Does this work better with wool? Does it work better with cotton? Does it work better with alpaca? Those are fabrics that I've tried. Or am I going to continue to get this squeak with the acrylic? And it makes sense. It makes sense that it squeaks, that it squeaks, because this is plastic and acrylic is plastic. I know she loves me. So I asked her, I said, well, look, can you pick up the kids? And then it was like, well, I'm already late getting to, I'm going to leave that little segment out. Might not make, everything will come together anyway. So I told her, I said, I'm in. I got it. I'm not going to be able to make it to the bus stop, but at least both of them know how to get home. I just like to be there because we've had so many problems, so many bullying problems. And I just wanted to make sure the babies got home okay. Oh, God. The Oompa, I have to go. They won't let her off the bus if I don't go. Well, I guess I'll be wearing the poncho. Okay, so I settled in my mind that I was going to see what the weather was like and I was going to be here with my YouTube family. And then I called to check on Jennifer to make sure she was okay, to tell her and her boss to hunker down and prepare for the bad weather. Well, Jennifer calls me back and she says, Mom, I need you to do me a huge favor. I already knew that meant I have to leave the apartment. So I already start getting up and she's like, I forgot my jacket this morning. I need you to bring it. And I look outside and it's like much darker than it is right now. I'm hoping that we missed it. I'm really hoping that we missed it. But at any rate, I said, okay. And she says, you don't have to do it right now. I'm like, yes, in the background, I hear her say, I'm freezing. And she says, you don't have to do it right now. I'm like, yes, I do. She misinterprets a lot of things sometimes. So she was like, you know what, Mom, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I was like, yeah, okay. Slid my shoes on, grabbed my just for me cardigan, grabbed her jacket, and I was up there at the store. Guys, I left at 11:40, 20 minutes before being here with you all. I scuttled around that corner, pulled up to her job. She's like, thanks, Mom. You're the best. Gave me a kiss. I love you. Okay, beautiful. Okay, pretty. And we let me out the door. She opens the door for me. She's like, beep, 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 because I was reversing. I was like, I need one of those. I really need one of those in my life. So I made it back home. When I pulled back inside and locked the door, it was 11:49. So I had plenty of time to come in, relieve the bladder, wash the hands, and make sure that I was here for you guys. Oh my goodness. Something else that I told myself I was going to do a ball a day because it's 4 of these. Guys, she's 6 weeks pregnant. I have time today and tomorrow and the next day. So it'll stay over there until I can get to it. I'm not planning on leaving stuff dangling forever. I'm just lightening my load so that I can get things done. Instead of a dabble here, a dabble there, a dabble over here, I'm focusing on these two. And I picked two because I know how bored I get. I like having more than one thing to work on, but I don't need 21 things to work on. So that is the plan for today. And as I carry through the week, as I finish one, I will pick up one other. I'm not picking up two more or three more. I'm going to do everything in my power not to start another, even though one of the beautiful things about Temu is when you order from them frequently, and I think it must have something to do with the time of day you order because I do the late night ordering, and somehow or another this got sent to me yesterday. Was it ordered? No. No. Not in a past order, not in a lost order. But thank you, Tamu. No ball bands, just 8 little balls. This is not a part of the 100. Altogether different. As a matter of fact, it's a little more in each one of these. I know this looks longer, but this is mad skinny. This is kind of full. This is mad skinny. All of them are mad skinny. But these are kind of plump. So this is what I got from Tamu. Thank you, Tamu. Okay, for the and then like I said, I will pick up only one item or one whip as I work towards getting things completed. I think this is supposed to be my season of completion. So we're going to be working on that. Now for the teasers. I only got one for y'all. I only got one for you. I did not put the link in the description box because I know that most of you are familiar with Juan More Yarn. Aren't you lucky? Because Tamu must be sending me a messages because I didn't ask for that. I didn't purchase it. I didn't order it. I didn't. It's not on a wish list anywhere, but they sent it. So thank you. I even called and asked them, "Was this mine?" And they told me it was a complimentary gift. So am I going to turn it down? No. Only if it wasn't intended for me. But being that it was, thank you. So, like I said, the only thing that I have under teasers, and I didn't put the link in the description box because we all know Juan the Yarn Addict. Taco Tuesday is no longer on Tuesdays. For right now, it's on Wednesdays and it's every other Wednesdays. It's going to be the same platform as the Taco Tuesday. Let's talk stitches. Taco Tuesday. Let's talk stitches. Taco Tuesday. So next Wednesday will be. Is it Let's Talk or Let's Chat? I think it's Let's Chat Stitches. So next Wednesday or this Wednesday coming will be Let's Chat Stitches, and then the following Wednesday will be the challenges. So we have the standing challenge, which is, and it has also become a contest. It's a one blanket, one stitch. I like to say one element because if you put a group of stitches together to make an element, it qualifies. So I like to call it the one blanket, one element blanket, but it is due by the 31st. You have to submit your pictures to Juan's community post page. And hello, Hadisha. How are you, my love? I don't here again. I don't see any of the messages, any of the comments on my phone. So I have to keep turning my head looking, and I have to keep stretching this leg out. The hip wants to lock up, but The one challenge, which I just showed you, was the one blanket, one stitch challenge. And that's the running challenge for this month. Uh, like I said, if you want to be a part of it, post your pictures in the community, in his community post, before midnight Eastern Standard Time of March 31st. My suggestion, try to at least get it in a couple of days early. Sometimes YouTube be playing with our emotions. I'm just saying. Sometimes I'll go through and check all of my comments and make sure I've cleared all of them and go back 5 minutes later and check and see that I got 6 more from a month ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, yeah. So the challenges that were selected yesterday were the one skein wonder, if that's okay, a purple make, a green make, a spring wreath, and a chunky market bag. Now for the chunky market bag, of course you want to use chunky yarn. Or you can run strands of what you have together to create the chunky yarn. Okay? So those are the 5 challenges, 6 with the month-long challenge that are going forth on his channel. So you might want to go over and check those out. If you don't know, he does post this list in his community posts as well. So if you don't understand my explanation of them, and of course, like I said, it's not something that you have to do. It's strictly voluntary. It's like to break the monotony of a one project, a, a solo project. They give you something to do to break up that time. Or if you're a person like me who likes to over challenge themselves, but I've even had to pull back from those because y'all know me, I usually try to tap all of those challenges. But I was like, you know what? I have business to take care of. Still got a car cover to work on. Just talked to the young man early this morning. He said that just wanted, sorry about that. He said, I just wanted to let you know that I'm still interested in the car cover. We're getting the funds together now for the yarn. And I said, okay. You know, I didn't want him to make him feel like I was rushing him because I'm not. I really am not. Yeah, so we had that. I'm sorry. Mm. Okay, so more tea. Okay, I have ideas, and I want to know how you all feel about it. Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I got strangled. Oh boy. Okay, so the prize for the Trek to 1000, 2 of the prizes are complete. They are complete and they are tucked away. And there are 10 more prizes on hooks. Excuse me. They are already on hooks. Now, that makes 12. I have 4 more proposed prizes. And hopefully, when we get to that point, I'm going to see if anybody is willing to donate prizes because it's going to be like a really massive appreciation or giving back. I think that's the good. Excuse me. Yes, Deja, 10. I have 10 on hooks, but I'm not rushing to get through them. I know that you all know about the 3, but there are 7 others along with those 3 that are going up for prizes. And like I said, proposed. I have 4 more items on the list for proposed gifts. Um, and like I said, at that time, that's further down the road. We got 475 to go, guys. So it's nothing urgent. And by then I may have made more. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Mhm. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what that brings. What that brings. Hopefully by then I will learn to use the random picker. If not, we will go with Google and the number system. I will write everybody down and give them a number. And we will say, hey, Google, pick a number between, but we will definitely figure out how to work that between um, Lori and Connie and Michelle. Hopefully, I'll learn how to do it because Connie helps me out as well. She does. She's so sweet. She is so sweet. So we do have that. And what I was saying about ideas, I didn't write it down. I did write it down. I just don't remember where I wrote it down. Um, I was thinking about something that we could do to kind of build a stash. I don't know. Does anybody else random comment picker is very easy to do. Even the kid. Okay. 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 I'm the person who really does not understand what a gig is. The terminology sounds good, but what is the functionality of a gig? And where exactly? I'm that I'm that I'm that Y person. I think I don't know what personality type I am, but I'm that person. If I know the why, everything else falls into place. Um, our computers, our phones, our electronics hold memory. Where? Where exactly is all this memory held? And if it's out there in the ether, then why can't I exist? Why do I have to pay for memory? Why can't I access the memory that I need when I need it? Why is it that some memory is stored here, but other memory is stored here, and yet other memory is stored here? What determines? Why is it that when I take pictures, they can't stay on my phone until I get ready to get rid of them? Why am I limited to the amount of pictures that I can hold on my phone? Yeah, you can get more storage. Hmm. A little chiclet, a little flat chiclet determines how many pictures I can hold on my phone. Or I can pay Google $2.99 a month, $19.99 a year, or a flat, I think it's $79.99 and have as much storage as I want. But when I put a picture in archive, I can't pull it up when I get ready to. But you take this $1.90, well, it was $1.99 when I was doing it. You take this $1.99 out of my account. Tell me that I can put the pictures over here to store them to open up more space on my phone. But when I get ready to pull that picture back up, I can't. And everybody says to me, go to the three dots, hit archive, and you can access your pictures there. When I go to the three dots and hit archive, it asks me what pictures do I want to store there. I don't want to put anything else there until I can see what I got there. Excuse me, y'all. And why is it that we're not going to go down that rabbit hole anymore? But I appreciate the confidence, Adisha, that the random picker is easy and even I could do it. I have no doubt that I can. That's not what I doubt, but I doubt being able to do it more than once if I don't understand the why behind it. I'm not going to retain that information if it's not made to make sense to me. I know the outcome, but I need to know a lot more than it's just a random comment picker. It's just how I'm wired. I I don't mean to be difficult, and I think it really aggravates some people when they're helping me do things. But it's because I'm dyslexic, number one. When I was coming up through school, I had to rewrite all of my work to make it make sense to me. Um, it's estimates on the cloud on the server, and that's the building that it's crammed full of all sorts of things that are saved by other people while it runs the environment. Okay, but why can't I access what they it's I understand that that's like a huge storage unit. That's like U-Haul storage or you store it or save and store or one of those types of places. And I'm paying for a storage unit. I get that part. What I don't get is why you haven't given me the proper key to access what I put into storage. And why can't I put these things into storage myself? Why do you get to determine what goes into the storage unit that you've not given me a key to get into? Those are the types of things I need to understand. I understand the what, I don't understand the why and the little teeny niches and stuff that go along with it. My son is an IT guy, and he has tried for years to explain what he thinks is simple stuff to his mama. And when I start breaking things down, he's like, "Mom, it just is," you know. And I don't honestly, y'all, I don't mean to be that way, but if I don't understand it, it's not going to stick with me, or I'm going to keep trotting at it until I find out. There are some things out there that I want to know so desperately. Y'all should see me. Sometimes I will hear a word on YouTube and I don't understand. You can put absolutely anything if you have space. Just hit it and to access it, just you can put absolutely anything in if you have the space in there to fit it. And to access it, it's just your Google email. So I should be able to use my Google email to get my archive. I was the one who emailed them and asked them how to do it. They were the first people to tell me hit the three dots. And when archive comes up, you should have access to your pictures. I love taking pictures. I used to say that I was trying to be a photographer. I even had someone to give me a Nikon camera. He gave me his most treasured camera. And uh, I love taking pictures. I love taking pictures of abandoned buildings, dilapidated buildings, resting spaces, which people call cemeteries and graveyards, hillsides, farm animals, stretches of roads. When I look out and see things beyond the traveling glass, this is usually when we're driving or riding, I see puzzles. I see the beauty in trying to or turning that picture into a puzzle. That's why I love red barnyards. I think they are the greatest. Oh my goodness, a red barnyard on a snowy day where you can't tell the sky from the ground except for the trees that are growing with the bare twigs. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah. But it's I can't answer that call and I need to. Uh, it's our maintenance man. Guys, what I'm going to do is wrap this up because I need to talk to my maintenance man. We've got a mold issue from the leakage upstairs. And for our health and safety, I've got to get to it. I love you guys. Please don't forget to love yourselves. Um, thank God I covered everything that I had to cover. We were just going off into the ether. But like I said, I love you guys. Please don't forget to love yourselves because self love is the greatest love of all. And you can't love others the way they deserve to be loved unless you first love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. Khadijah, thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate you. All of you who deal with me on that level, thank you so much for your patience. And it's not taken lightly at all. I know that I'm not the easiest person to work with, and I honestly don't mean to be difficult. I don't mean to be difficult at all. It's just that I want to understand. I want to know fully. It's like a part of me is wired that if it doesn't make sense, it's no use for it. It's like if I have, say I have a family gathering and there's 16 people in my family, and I know that there are going to be some who want seconds. So I'm going to cook 4 apple pies. That will give everybody 2 slices of pie. I'm not going to cook a fifth because I don't want it to be wasted. I don't want it to be thrown away. It wasn't needed. I don't know if that, I hope that makes sense. But that's how things work in logic with me. When I go to the store, I know we need an abundance of water. When I went to the store the other day, I got a case of water. I could have gotten 2. We needed 2, don't get me wrong, but I couldn't carry it. So what would have been the point of me struggling with another case? It's just that to me, everything fits in a slot. Everything fits in a little space. And I'm trying to learn that that space marked miscellaneous, that even sometimes things don't fit in there. I do have that space available, that miscellaneous space, but sometimes things don't even fit in there. And when they don't, it becomes real confusing for me. But anyway, I thank you guys. I love you guys. I really, really do. Don't forget Kitty Lane told you. Don't forget Kitty Lane loves you. So until we meet again on these YouTube streets, peace out, everybody.